We'll get started right away. Very happy to have Leon Draisaitl here with us. Thanks for joining us, Leon. And I'll open it up right away. First question from Reed Wilkins. Reed, you should be able to ask your question. Go ahead.
Hi, Leon. Good to see you. Thanks for doing this, and congratulations on getting the Art Ross. Well, I'm first, so I guess there's a lot of different ways I can go. But when you came into the league, I think there was a perception you might be more of a setup guy, and the goal scoring totals might not reach what you've been able to achieve the last 2 years, 50 last year, and you might have got there again this year. Did you always see that in your game? Was it something that started clicking over the last 2 or 3 years? Can you talk about the huge bump in goal scoring?
Yeah, I think I've always kind of been more of the pass first type of guy, but I knew early on in my career in the NHL that I have to be a threat to shoot once in a while too, otherwise I'm too predictable. So it's just something that I've worked on constantly during the summer, in season, whenever it was really. So it's just something that I had to put into my game.
Now, next question, Mark Spector. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, Leon, for doing this. I know that you're not huge on talking yourself up generally. You're usually a pretty humble guy. But you've had 200-point seasons in a row. I want to give you a couple guys. Jerome McGinley was a great player. He's going to walk in the Hall of Fame. He never had 100 points. Daniel Alfredson, Matt Sundin, Hendrik and Daniel, they only had 100-point season. You're very young. You've already had 100 points twice. Do you ever sit back and think, where Leon Draisaitl might be able to get if he keeps doing things like this?
Yeah, thank you, first of all. But, obviously, when you come to numbers like this, there's always, people that help you get there, right? So I've been lucky enough to have some great teammates, some great line mates over the last 2 years that have really helped me, made me a better player and pushed me to becoming, an offensively dangerous player. So, but yeah, you dream of these things, no question. But until you do it, it seems so far away. So, I'm proud in a way, of course, but I know that I still have lots of things to work on. It's obviously the cliche, everyone says that, but it is true at the end of the day that, there's many things in my game that I can improve. So I'm looking to do that every year.
Next question, Josh Clipperton from Canadian Press. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, Leon. I just have a question a little bit off the Art Ross topic, just with what we're all going through with the virus. Hockey players are always viewed as tough and willing to play through everything. Every season you hear about a flu bug going through a locker room and guys playing through it. I'm wondering if you think in the future that'll change with what defines toughness and, just with relation to everything that's been happening.
Well, you definitely have to be careful with how you proceed with these things, right? I think every hockey player has played through certain things, and we've all played through a flu or sickness or whatever it is. But now with this going around, I think it makes it a little more dangerous. It makes it a little more, you have to be a little more cautious with these kind of things. And I think that we have people in our sport, in our organization that know very well what to do, and they know the symptoms, and you probably know the symptoms yourself in some ways too. So I think you have to be careful for sure.
Next question, Kate Pedersen, Oilers.com.
Hey, Leon, now that the regular season is wrapped up, can you pinpoint a favorite moment from this season?
Oh, wow, you put me on the spot here. A favorite moment. I think the one game in Calgary, the Battle of Alberta, a pretty fun game to be a part of. I'm not sure which one it was, if it was the one before the All-Star game or after the All-Star game. The one we beat them in Calgary. That was a very fun game for us as a team. And but it's tough to pinpoint one moment. I think we've played a very solid season pretty much throughout the entire year, and obviously ups and downs, no question. But we've had great games, great moments as a team.
Okay, 1 second here. Next question, Rod Kurtz. Go ahead, Rod.
Thanks, Andre. Leon, I'm interested to know, yesterday Connor and Darnell were talking about kind of the level of comfort playing, knowing this virus is out there. And Darnell said, there's kind of differing levels of comfort. What's your level of comfort going out and playing? Because I know everybody wants to play. That's kind of the line. But what's your level of comfort knowing that the virus is there?
I mean, again, I think that we have officials or the people that are in charge of these types of things, these kind of decisions, that they'll do anything they can to make sure that it's going to be safe and it's going to be, healthy for everyone to play and to participate. So I think the people that are in charge of these things, they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, and I think they'll make it as safe as it can be.
Next question, Ryan O'Leary, IHF. Hang on. Okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Leon. Thanks again. I got a two-parter here. I'm going to ask from an international perspective. What impact does your Art Ross have on hockey in Germany and the youth growing up in that system right now? The second part to this is, did you want to finish out all 82 games? Do you kind of care about the way you won this, just being a competitor as all hockey players are?
Yeah, to the first part, I mean, I'm probably the wrong person to ask that. You'd probably have to go around in Germany in the hockey community and ask around there. But, obviously, if there's any way that I can push the German hockey or, make it bigger, make it better in any way, I gladly do that, of course. It's my country, and I want us to, to become a good, solid hockey nation. So if there's any chance that I can help maybe kids fall in love with the sport more than other years, then I'll gladly do so. The second part, I mean, what was that again?
It was in regards to playing a full season as opposed to a season.
Oh, yeah, right. I mean, obviously, I think we all would have liked to finish the season. I think that's only fair to every team, to every individual themselves. But I mean, again, like we've all said, like everyone's saying, the health of people at the moment is just more important. And I think every player, we're all understanding enough to understand those circumstances and obviously agree with them as well.
Next question, Chuck Penfold from Germany. Chuck, I'm trying to unmute your microphone and it's not miking. We'll go to the next one, sorry. Mark Spector with another question. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, guys. Leon, years before, as the Oilers tried to build something around young players, they kind of struggled to find a leadership group, right? They brought guys in from outside and it didn't always work. But now, this started out, this was going to be Connor's team. Well, now it's Connor's team and it's your team and it's Darnell Nurse's team. Can you maybe just talk about the process that you've gone through, sort of being a young guy who probably didn't say very much, and now you're becoming a leader in here, and now you probably have a lot more to do with directing and leading this team. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you learn from players. You learn by yourself when you're young. I mean, you said it bang on. When you're young, there's not much for you to say, right? First of all, your play on the ice doesn't play as big of a role, doesn't have as big of an impact as it has now, being 24 years old, being in the league for a while. And so yeah, you change as a player, you change as a person a little bit, and it's been great to obviously, stick around the same group of guys for so many years now and see them grow and watch the team grow, watch the organization grow. It's definitely a lot of fun to be a part of, and I think that we still have a lot of upside as a team, and it's obviously fun to go through that and learn that with the same guys that you essentially kind of started with.
We'll try Chuck Penfold again.
There we go.
Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. Leon, it's good to see you wearing the K on your baseball cap, as I'm from the Rhineland. I'd like to ask you also about German hockey. Moritz Seider went number 6 last year's draft. Tim Stützle could go even higher. And there are a few other really highly touted Germans coming into this draft. Could it be that we, with you winning the Art Ross, are seeing the emergence of a golden generation of German hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're trending in the right direction. We're heading in the right spot as a country. Germany just isn't a big hockey country. That's just how it is. But we can still become a very solid hockey country that develops good young players. And I think the last 3-4 years, we've done a really good job of that. You see it every year. There's a few German players that come out and get drafted high or play a big role with their teams, and that's obviously great to see. So if we as a unit, I guess, in German hockey can make hockey bigger back home and make it become more important, then that's obviously our goal.
Next question, Tim Campbell, NHL.com. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Leon. Thanks for doing this today. Another question, maybe a bit about German hockey. You were able to play games in the NHL the year you were drafted. What were the adjustments you had to make that jump, and what kind of advice would you give to Tim Stützle and others who would like to follow that path?
Well, I think every player is a little bit different, right? He might come in and be ready, play big minutes, and is ready to make an impact and contribute to that team. In my case, that wasn't really the case. I don't think I was ready at the time, but those 35 whatever games it was, it still helped me so much. It taught me so much about how to play the game the right way, how the game is being played in the NHL. And sometimes one advice that I might be able to give is that it's okay to maybe take a step down. That was the case with me. In the long run, that was probably the best thing for me, to go back down to juniors and start the next year even in the AHL. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to take a step back and kind of go at your own pace, I guess.
Next question, Adam Cook. Adam, 1 second. Go ahead, Adam.
Hi, Leon. Obviously, this is big news in the NHL. Your award, big news in Edmonton and back in Germany. You've lived and played in a hockey mad market, and there's another prominent Edmontonian that's making his way in the Bundesliga right now, that being Alphonso Davies. I wonder if you can imagine what he's kind of going through, given that you live in this hockey bubble here. Can you imagine what life is like for him over there playing for Bayern Munich, and if you would have any advice for him?
I don't think I need to give him any advice. It's funny, I actually talked to him today over the phone, so it's good timing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he's becoming a very, very good player, and it's very fun to watch, fun to see. And I guess I kind of know what he's going through right now with soccer being so big back home and hockey being big in Canada and coming over and trying to adjust and find your rhythm, find your game, find your life a little bit, I guess. So, but I think he's doing a great job, and he doesn't need much advice from me.
Next question, Josh Clipperton, Canadian Press. Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Leon, I'm just wondering, two-parter, how do you know Alfonso? Are you guys friends, or is it, like, how does that come about? And second of all, just with the Bundesliga coming back, have you been watching it? And what do you think of how they've gone about it? And can the NHL sort of take, something from how they've sort of set up their stadiums?
Yeah, we actually met him, going back to your first part of the question. We actually met him. He dropped the puck at one of our games last season. So he came in the dressing room before the game, or I think in morning skate. So we all got to meet him, and I talked to him for a little while, and we stay in contact here and there. So that's how I know him. And I've been following it. I've been watching the games a little bit. I think they've done a good job of making it safe for everyone in Germany and in the Bundesliga, and they've done a very professional job of making it as close as possible to a normal game day or a normal format, which obviously is impossible without fans, without all that kind of stuff. But I think they've done a great job.
Next question, Andrew Knoll, New York Times. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. Hi, Leon. First of all, congratulations on the scoring title and really an outstanding season. And I wanted to ask you, obviously, you won this pretty comfortably, but some of the other races were very close. From a player's perspective, how do you look at that? I mean, you have guys that are in a tie or separated by one goal or something like that, and then you don't have the opportunity to finish the season. Just curious, as to what you think of the races that were a lot closer than the Art Ross race.
Yeah, I mean, I think every trophy was a close race. It always is all season long, and I obviously feel bad for the guys that didn't get the chance to finish it or get closer or even catch someone. So I think with hockey players in general being pretty fair sports athletes, I think it only would have been fair for the season to end, but that wasn't the case. So obviously from me also, congratulations to all the guys that have won trophies.
Next, Rod Kurtz, CBC Radio. Go ahead, Rod.
Leon, I just wanted to ask you about if this all goes ahead and we do see hockey return, Oilers are set to play Chicago in a best of 5. How long do you think, how long to knock the rust off, and how much pressure does that create in a 5-game series to be sharp from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely takes a while. I think hockey in general is a sport that is, takes maybe a little longer than other sports to get into, your coordination, your cardio, that kind of stuff, and your timing. It takes a little while, but I think the NHL will give us enough time to, get ready, get back into it, get our feet wet. And at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat, right? Every team has the same circumstance pretty much. So I guess you could say it's pretty fair.
Before going forward, we'll take 3 more questions here, and I know we have a couple questions in German afterwards. And thanks again to Leon for his time. So next question, Chuck Penfold again. Chuck, should be working. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yep, I think we got it now. A lot's been made of the fact here in Germany that you're obviously the first German to win an NHL scoring title, but you're also the first to win a scoring title in any major North American league. I mean, Nowitzki had a great career, but he never managed that. How does it feel to have that distinguished honor? And have you spoken to your parents, particularly your dad, who also had a distinguished career with the national team?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously, like I said, I'm proud of it. I think it's yeah, I mean, it's a cool story for myself personally, no question. But again, we're a team, and it is a team sport, as I say so many times. And if we do end up coming back, you know, it's playoff hockey, and nothing else matters. So yeah, like I said, I'm proud, but you know, that's really all it is.
Next question, Tim Campbell, NHL.com. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Leon. You've been congratulations on the Art Ross, but you've been also mentioned as the favorite or one of the favorites for the Hart. Your thoughts on your chances there, and also nobody's asked you about the qualifying round. What are your thoughts on the Oilers' chances against the Hawks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really pay too much attention to the Hart Trophy race, to be honest with you. Of course, it would be a big honor. It'd be great to win it, or you know, even come close to being in the race. You know, that's a great thing for me personally. Very, very happy about that, no question. But yeah, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. And whatever the decision is, you know, either way, I'll be proud of myself. To the second part, yeah, I think obviously it's a team with a lot of experience still. They, you know, they've won. They have that experience of how to win hockey games, how to win playoff series. So yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. It'll be a good series, and yeah, we're looking obviously to win that.
One final question in English, and then we'll switch to a couple of German questions. Ryan O'Leary, IHF. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Leon. I'm a longtime Borussia Dortmund fan, so I don't know where that puts me with you, but my last question is just about the surge of German hockey here. Can you pinpoint where maybe this started? Was it the Olympics or before then? And yeah, thank you again for doing all this today.
Well, I mean, we've always had, you know, very good players in the NHL. It just wasn't a bunch of them. You know, it was one or two here and there, but the guys that have made it to the NHL, they've all been impact players. They've had great careers. They played big roles with their teams. So it's not like the German hockey is just starting to get to the NHL. That's not necessarily true, but I think the volume of players is becoming more, and the volume of young kids coming up that have the chance or the potential to be NHL players is becoming more. And yeah, I think that is the most important part right now.
Thank you. And now I will allow a couple questions in German in here for Stefan Herget. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, from NHL.com. Go ahead, Stefan.
Ah, that's fine, Andre. Hallo Leon, Glückwunsch zum Gewinn der Art Ross-Trophäe. Eine große Geschichte hier, auch in Deutschland. Deine Entwicklung ist unglaublich. Du hast zwar schon viel erzählt und gesagt in Englisch, aber ich hätte es gerne nochmal auf Deutsch von dir gehört. Hättest du jemals gedacht, Topscorer der NHL zu werden?
Ja, ich meine, als kleiner Junge träumt man natürlich von so Sachen, keine Frage. Ich denke, dass man, wenn man ja als kleines Kind auf den Straßen spielt, dass man, ja, wie gesagt, von solchen Sachen halt einfach träumt. Aber ja, es war eigentlich schon immer mein Ziel, als Spieler ja, mit den Besten der Welt ganz oben mitzuspielen. Und ja, ich wusste, dass ich viel Arbeit vor mir habe und mich in sehr, sehr vielen Sachen halt verbessern muss. Und das habe ich eigentlich jedes Jahr gemacht. Und da bin ich auch, glaube ich, noch lange nicht am Ende. Da habe ich immer noch sehr, sehr viel Luft nach oben.
Ja, und eine zweite Frage noch. Ja, wie würdest du deine Entwicklung beschreiben, die du durchgemacht hast? Das war ja doch auch ein ziemliches Auf und Ab über deine Zeit hinweg.
Ja, ich glaube, dass ich mich positiv über die Jahre entwickelt habe. Natürlich gibt es viele Auf und Abs, keine Frage. Viele negative Momente, viele positive Momente. Aber Ich glaube, alles in allem, für mich persönlich habe ich mich Jahr für Jahr, bin ich ein besserer Eishockeyspieler geworden und für mich persönlich ist das das Wichtigste, dass ich mich verbessere, dass ich einfach so nah wie möglich an meine Grenzen rankomme.
Dankeschön, Leon. Thank you very much for doing this. Thanks to all the members of the media, and everybody stay safe and have a great day.